Welcome everybody back to the Tech Woke YouTube channel. My name is Chris, and on this channel we talk about cyber, career, and life. In this video today, I'm going to talk about how to get into cybersecurity with no experience. Me personally, I got into cybersecurity with no experience at all, and I'm going to talk about some of the steps that I took to get into cybersecurity with no experience. So the first step I would do, I would start looking up some of the jobs that are in cybersecurity. Start doing your research on some of the jobs that are in cybersecurity. You can go on Indeed and just type in cybersecurity and just look at some of the various positions, what they do, some of the details, and just different things about the job that you're interested in. That's the first thing I would do. Secondly, I would just start checking out some of these podcasts. There's a lot of cybersecurity podcasts, tech podcasts. Just listen to them, listen to some of the interviews, and just glean off if that position is something that you can picture yourself in, and just see what some of the things they do and how they got into the position. Just check out some of the podcasts. The last thing I would do, maybe you might have some friends, family that in cybersecurity. I would just talk to them about some of the positions that cybersecurity that you can do, some of them that they think might better fit you, and just talk to them, use your resources. That's what I would do first. So after you find a job in cybersecurity that you might have an interest in, the next step I would start doing is just researching what is required from the position, what certification, education, maybe some hands-on experience you might need. The first step I would do is just look up the position, see what certifications, and start working to get the certification that you need for that position. Then also too, I would start looking at maybe some of the positions might have some education requirements. I would look into some of the education you might need, maybe get an associate's, maybe getting a bachelor's, even master's for the position. Just start looking into what education is required for the position. Lastly, start looking at some of the labs you can do. For some cybersecurity positions, they require a lot of technical experience. So some positions might have labs that you can do. For example, Hack the Box. Maybe you can create a Linux lab that you can practice with, or maybe a cert you're studying for, some of the education that was provided for, it might have like a lab you can do. I would just try to see if you can get as much hands-on experience as possible doing labs and other things like that. You get your certifications, you get your education, you get some of the hands-on by doing some of the labs. Next thing you know, I would start doing is start updating your resume. I preferably update your resume to an ATS format and make sure you put everything that you've done on your resume so it can look good for employment. So the next step you should start doing, now that you got your certification, you got your education, you did your lab work, you know what position you want to do, you have all that information, which will look good for jobs. They'll love to know that you're pretty much prepared. I would start applying for jobs. Go to any job board. I prefer Indeed. Start looking at some of the positions and start applying to jobs. Then also too, for some positions, you might want to retailer your resume to better fit that position because they might lean heavily on something else. But apply to jobs and keep reformatting your resume per job you're applying for. The last step you need to start doing, you need to start preparing for the interviews, because after you got all that, you're going to start getting some interviews. Start doing some mock interviews, have a friend help you out with some mock interviews. Make sure you go on the company page, make sure you learn as much as the company as you can. Make sure you review all the things you do, certification-wise, lab-wise, education-wise. Make sure you can articulate that to a potential employer. But you need to start preparing for interviews in case. So start preparing for interviews as soon as possible. So that's pretty much it. You're pretty much, at this point, you pretty much will have a job. And if you're trying to apply for jobs in cybersecurity that are different, just follow the steps in order again to make sure you're fully prepared for that job. But that's it, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have a different experience, please comment in the comment section. But remember, everybody, get 1% better every day. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out, everybody.